of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening. Welcome to Creative Play Podcast. I am Kelly, and this is
Jim.
And we are bringing to you the third installment of 30-Day Dungeons & Dragons Challenge. And the third on the list is Favorite Playable Class. So what is your favorite playable class, Jim?
For me, it would have to be the Bard.
Ah! My fair, that's my pick.
Okay,
then I should have gone first.
Then I will go with my secondary choice, which is the old school choice. It would be the Cleric.
I like clerics.
The Cleric is my
first choice.
favorite because every party should have one. I mean,
yes!
A Bard and a Druid can kind of hobble along doing the job, but a Cleric is the OG healer of the group.
Yep.
You know, goes all the way back to first edition when they can only use blunt weapons because shedding blood is crude, but breaking kneecaps is cool. That's what they teach you in seminary school, right?
It depends on the seminary school. And remember, I play clerics.
And one thing I love about the clerics is when you get to third level and get to pick your divine group, that totally changes how one cleric is from another cleric.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting to pick a cleric of the sun, of Pelor, you get fire spells.
Yeah. Well, my cleric of Pelor is actually life domain.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a one that has the Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
Domain. I have another one that has what is it? It's the art.
Oh, the art of the forge.
Yeah.
Cleric of the forge.
Cleric of the forge.
And I'm sorry, some of those divine abilities are super, super OP, like the forge. Short rest and you can create something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome is that you can create the MacGuffin needed for any situation?
Yeah. All I gotta do is we looted a bunch of crappy blades off of some goblins.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Here, boom, +1 sword. There you go. No.
And the fact that you can pop off with a magic item at such a low level is great.
Yep. Or you can buff basically you give a shield. I mean, just from your domain, not from,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, each of my clerics is pretty distinct, and it's because of their domains.
Mm-hmm. And of course, like you mentioned, the Tempest, which I still tell everybody. If you want to play an OP tanky cleric, Tempest is the way to go because there's nothing cooler than using your, Tempest ability to shock someone as a reaction for hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're nailing them for a D8 of damage at low level, that's going to take at least half of their life bar, so to speak. In one shot, that's basically they hit you and they're paying for it, It's like the best out of the best thing that the tieflings have, where you get that nice retribution shot.
Yeah. Anything hits me is gonna regret it.
And then a Tempest Cleric can be super tricky, burn their divine ability, and have it do max damage. Which is disgusting, that you can basically say, you know what, I'm spending one of my divine channels to have my thunder or lightning damage do max dice damage. Which, by the way, High Seas, you've seen Dan do that one effectively a few times, where he's just like, I'm going to do area effect lightning, and it's max damage.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Thunder God said so.
Yeah, and he's a Triton cleric.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's all about the Tempest.
Yeah, I have a Tempest cleric as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my favorite is the Bard. I mean, well, not only is it, I like having a backup heals, and a general, buff to the group type of thing with the bardic inspirations, which are fabulous.
They are amazing.
And I love vicious mockery. I'm sorry. I think that is the most fun cantrip. By insulting them, you can give them, it's 1d4 damage, psychic damage. It's against their, charisma, which, most, evil creatures and stuff don't typically have good charisma. Okay. And they're at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. And trust me, every paladin will love you for popping off a vicious mockery and then having the bad guy attack them with disadvantage. Because when you've got that crazy high AC, it's nice making sure the lower roll is the one that they get to use.
Uh-huh. And I actually, created a whole sheet of different possible insults to use. So, to actually get into it. So, if it's a goblin, it's like, oh, green is so last season. I mean, just, different, it's fun. It is. It's a hoot. I get a kick out of it. I mean, I think that is one of the most fun classes to play. And I mean, I even rewrote a bunch of songs. I normally don't sing them now because just to keep the gameplay going. But I can be your healer. I'm like, do you heal what I heal? It's fun. Oh my God, I have so much fun with it. I mean, and I remember my first part, they actually, one of the listeners asked for a ballad for Carrie's character. So one of my, she was actually a cousin to my character in the game, but she was a bard from 4th edition that I'd had, Twyla Fair Ditty, and sure enough, I came up with that ballad. I think I still have it too, and actually performed the ballad. It's it's fun. Ballad, bards are a hoot. I enjoy them. Mm-hmm. And I like making them a little different. Like my current bard that I'm playing, it really allows me to be totally crazy because she's a changeling. So not only I have all of these different personas where I can play all different types of bards. It's crazy. It can get confusing, but it's fun. So she has a tiefling persona. That's more of her hitty. She's got her ladies man. She's got all sorts. I've got 6 main personas. And then of course I can turn into anybody. It's and plus she's College of Whispers. So, and with the bards, yeah, it's kind of like the clerics. You get the colleges. So, and hers is more for spying, She says she's College of Lore, but she's really not. She's all about the secrets. What are your secrets and how can I use them?
That's one of the few bard subclasses I've still got to try out is the Bard of Swords. You get this whole Cyrano de Bergerac swordsman bard spiel, you know. Because the nice thing is with the bard is you can be more than just the typical bard. I mean, you can play it up to be a skald, a storyteller. You can be a you know, vicious rumor mill starter like somebody I know.
I have employed that tactic before, yes. Not that often though, no. I usually go for, you know, the ballads and the songs, type of thing, but it also depends on my persona. You know, I have one persona that basically, you know, yeah, he can play an instrument and stuff, and he's like, but his real shtick is forging. He's my master forger.
Because that's the fun thing with the bard is they can definitely be that jack of all trades and a thief. You know, they've got that.
My stealth is freaking awesome.
They've got it harkens back to that old idea where it's half wizard, half rogue is what the bard is. You know, which I got to admit, in 5th edition, I like how they've changed it up with the charisma. Is everything is charisma based, so that way it's not using intel and dex and charisma. So like in 3rd edition when you had to like multi-class just right to get it really usable, this way you come out right out of the gate as a really usable character.
Yeah. And again, they make a great, like when we're setting up a new group, I always wait to see what everybody else wants. Because first of all, there's going to be no healer, I'm the healer. But if somebody is the healer, then I usually try to play a class that is multi-purpose, you know, backup heals, some crowd control, that type of stuff, just to help things out, like, in the high seas, I have a druid, just to give the, cause we already have a cleric, just makes it a little, more rounded.
And sometimes your cleric needs to use his spell slots for some big bang spell, like, know, and then you can say, I've got a heal left, so I got this.
It's like, I got you.
And it's good to be a, utilitarian character who's more than just a boomstick or a big piece of meat tank, This way you can do the talkie-talkie.
Yeah. I mean, heck, even in, like, when I'm playing World of Warcraft, my favorite class is a warlock. I've got a little bit of tanking, but I've got a little bit of heals, and if I'm in a group, my soul stone goes on the healer. Or the tank, depending on the situation, cause I'm there to support and keep things, running.
Yeah. You're a good team player is what I'm hearing.
I am. I'm not selfish. I don't put it on myself unless, I'm like the lowest member, I'm being run by like a high level and I'm a lowbie getting a run, and then it's like, oh, there's fresh meat in here. We can smell you. And okay, I better put it on myself just so I live.
Or you should say live again. And, as a bard, it's nice that you can totally do a lot of spells that mess with people.
Although, I remember when they did the whole, the April Fools, saying that Bard was going to become a playable class in World of Warcraft, and I'm like, I know you're just fucking with me, but damn it, that would be awesome! I would so love that! Oh my god, yes!
You would just want the particle effects of magical notes floating around you.
I mean, they can do it. Come on, they have the Tauren chieftains. They have people playing drums and
they have the music box that players can use.
Exactly, and on top of that, they have the undead men already do air guitars, their dance. So it's like they have the mechanics for a lot of this set up. I'm just saying. And
Just needed to pull the trigger on it. I mean, I'll admit, back when I used to play EverQuest, I used to love the Bard class.
I never played EverQuest.
EverQuest was great because you basically had magical instruments you needed to pick up, and you had to learn to rotate your spells so that way you were casting 3 spells at once.
I was playing the Star Wars Galaxies.
You had your own entertainment going on.
I was playing a different MMORPG.
So what I'm hearing is we need to see more bards and more clerics in games.
Hey, I'm not the only one. I mean, other people we've been discussing having either a group of all clerics or a group of all bards or a group of all paladins.
Mm-hmm. Or, hear me on this one, you get the clerics and you have a multi-class bard and you call it the choir.
Ha! That would be awesome.
Sounds like a train wreck waiting to happen.
Oh my god, we should totally do this.
Just tell everybody, okay, here's the rule. You have to alternate, so it's not multiple levels of cleric, it's one or the other. So you can start out as a bard or start out as a cleric and then you alternate levels.
Yeah, but think about it. A group of all bards, that would be great. You'd just be a traveling group of musicians or, performers, and you can have them of all different types of, colleges.
All the different colleges, yeah.
Exactly. You could have a little bit of everything. Same with the clerics. You could have, you could have a cleric of trickery.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the roguey type character. You could have one of life for the extra healing. You could have the Tempest, which is the tanky one. It would be awesome! I'm totally down. I would totally play that. Although the next character I was planning on was a monk, because I've never played a monk, and a fire genasi.
And you even made her on.
Oh, I've got
Hero
her.
Forge.
Yeah, she looks really cool in Hero Forge.
Which, by the way, for you guys listening out there, you can totally use Hero Forge's character builder to come up with your character and take a screenshot. Just saying.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And then, of course, you can, get your character printed or get the STL and print it, on your friend's printer or your own printer.
Yep.
But
they will also, it's a little pricey, but they will print in color.
Which, that is awesome.
It is. Including like tattoos and branding and stuff. It's customizable as well.
The fact that the technology's gotten that smexy.
Yes.
So, Monk, that's going to be your next new playable class that you'd like to.
Yeah,
to
I've never played a
around.
monk. Just want to try different little.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to try something new.
Hardest thing to do is keep track of those key points.
I wouldn't know. I haven't played a monk yet.
Then you'll Mr. Miyagi that shit.
Well, it's the same as keeping track of your spell slots, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. But you only get like 2 or 3 and they spend real quick.
Mm.
Oh man, now I'm totally seeing like a Cobra Kai game where everyone's playing monks. You all start out as a different class, but then you all pick up a sensei and you start picking up monk classes. Alrighty guys, that's probably where we should wrap it up before we go completely ridiculous on Your Favorite Playable Class. Day number 3.
I like how you say get ridiculous. We're already there.
Well, we're 80% ridiculous.
I'm closer to 90.
Okay. I was actually going to pop off with a solid 78, so it's 12% not ridiculous.
Yes, but we offset each other. Mwah.
And tomorrow is going to be one you're going to have to do some research on there, Missy.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite game world for D&D.
No, for D&D.
Yep.
Greyhawk.
No spoilers. Oh, Greyhawk. You know,
We're going old school.
I actually,
Well, then we'll discuss that.
I actually had the cards to that. Remember when the D&D came up with the cards with characters and weapon stats? Because they had all the cool wizards and stuff of Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. We'll go ahead and wrap up there before we get talking too much into our favorite game world. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.